Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another vlog. Today is Sunday. Yes, I am planning to film, record, edit and post this tonight. It's been a mad week, guys. I haven't picked up the camera at all, which is really bad of me, but I did want to share with you something that a lot of people have asked for, which is the recipe to my dal that I make for meal prep. It is a busy day for us in the house today. I have family coming over for the bank holiday weekend. Well, just for today really, for dinner. I've got a few celebrations that we are celebrating, so I'm going to be cooking anyway, but I still want to make sure I meal prep for the week. So I'm going to be making the dal for the week, as well as the meals that we're going to eat, or the food that we're going to eat today. I'm making 2 batches of rice for the family too, so I'm probably going to use leftovers from that this week if there are some. If there aren't, then I'll make some more. But yeah, the only thing I really need to do additionally, apart from the food that we're going to eat today, is the dal, so I thought I'd film it for you. Okay guys, so one of the reasons why I love this recipe so much is because look how few ingredients you need to make it. So these are the red lentils. I bought this bag from Costco this week. It's 5 kilos, guys. Guess how much it is? Guess how much it is? You writing it down? Right, it's £7.99 in Costco for this amount of lentils. So that's gonna last us quite a long time, I think. Probably at least a month. So when you think about a month's worth of food for £7.99, I mean, come on guys. Why are you not vegetarian? Anyway, we've got a can of coconut milk that we need, and chopped tomatoes. I've got a stock cube. Where does it say stock cube? I've got some stock cubes here. Probably gonna use one of those. I've got 2 onions and some garlic, and literally that is all you need. I'll tell you the measurements as I go through. But in the meantime, all I've done is decanted 4 cups of the lentils, 4 of these into a plastic container. All I did was run water on it, and I wanted to just leave it here, guys, to show you what is in the bag. Okay, this is why we need to wash our lentils. Okay guys, so I washed them at least 4 times. I let the water run, drain, one drain, one drain, one drain, until it gets clear. So I'm just going to do that now. And this is still after 3 rinses, guys. This is the 3rd rinse and it's still really dirty. I think I rinsed mine about 6 or 7 times, guys, maybe 8. But this is the water that I'm going to leave it in while I cut my onions and prep all my veg, and then I'll come back to it, rinse it off again, and then add it to the pan. One thing I want to say though is that you don't need to wash your lentils as much if you are getting them out of the can. If you're getting the red lentils out of the can, what I would say is do drain the water that it comes in, give it a rinse, but you don't need to wash it as many times as you would do if you are using dry lentils. I prefer dry. I think that they're just better for you. I don't know why, but I've always been taught and shown as a child to use dry pulses and beans, so I'm gonna use dry always, unless we're in a bit of a rush or whatever. But generally, if you're using them out of the can, then you don't need to rinse them as much. The other thing that you could do as well is, for all lentils, beans as well, if you find that they irritate your gut, guys, if you find that you get really gassy, or you get any irritation from eating too many of them or eating them on a regular basis, I've found soaking them for periods of time helps. So if it were beans, I'd soak them overnight. Lentils, red lentils, I tend to soak them at least a couple of hours. I haven't done that today, but yeah, generally I do soak them for a couple of hours. They don't really irritate me though. My mum, they do irritate her, but she's found that by soaking them for a while, it has helped. So that's just a little bit of a tip. Follow me for day 42 on a budget of zero in order for me to save money. Make bread. Guys, I haven't bread in forever. As you know, I'm trying to save money. So we're pulling out the big gun, making our own bread. Actually baked 2 loaves in the end. This is the one I did in preparation for the live. To a bowl, I added 3.5 cups of white flour, a spoon of salt, half a tablespoon of yeast, 200 mils of water. Gradually added the water, guys. Because I didn't actually need all of it in the end. Ended up looking like this. This is how much water I had left. Covered it over with damp towel and left it to prove. That's a bread term, you know. Dumped it inside the oven. This is how it came out, guys. Literally squealed when I saw that it worked. It's a bit of the beef and I sliced it too early. It tasted gorgeous. So gassed to be making loads of bread in the future. Never going back, guys. This is it. More bread for me. Here is your side to make your own bread. Doesn't take long at all. Look at my face. I'm so happy. Dicing my 2 onions. They're relatively small, guys, so you may want to just, I don't know, maybe get 1 large one. Might do for this amount of lentils. You could do 1 really big one, but I don't know what it is about supermarkets these days. You don't find big onions anymore. They're all really small. If you're not a fan of onions, I wouldn't substitute onion powder. I wouldn't say it's a good substitute. I would just dice them really small because they more or less dissolve when you cook them, so you won't notice them at all. It's just the flavours unmatched. It won't taste the same if you don't add the onions. Onions are done. You know, this is the size of the knife. I don't know, it's a small knife. You can see it's about that much onions. I don't know how to show it, but it's 2 small onions. And then I've got 6 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna use my garlic crusher to crush it directly into the pot. But yeah, we're ready to get assembling. Okay, so guys, we have our pan here. I'm just gonna switch on the cooker and I'm going to add some oil to my pan. I do get asked this quite a lot, like where I get my olive oil or oil dispenser from. This was, I think it was £1 from IKEA. £1, no more than a couple of quid though, guys. It wasn't a lot. I put the wrong fire on, hold on. Sorry, I put the wrong fire on then. But yeah, no more than a couple of quid. And I like that it stops light getting to the oil. You can put really nice oil in here because of that. Yeah, I'm gonna add probably about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 tablespoons of oil, because it is quite a large pan. And then I'm gonna add my onions to my pan. Once that's done, I'm just gonna rinse my cans off, guys. I like to rinse the lids off before I open them. I'm gonna open my can of chopped tomatoes. So that's all ready to go now when I come to add that in. In terms of seasonings, this is definitely not an authentic dish, but in terms of seasoning, I've got some chili powder, I've got some garlic granules, as I said, turmeric, loads of turmeric, and cumin. I love cumin in this dish, and I also add paprika as well. Right, my oil is hot. Let me add my onions. Onions are added to the pan, give them a quick stir. Once they start to, you know, start to look a bit clear, guys, start to look a bit translucent, I'm going to add my garlic. So they're looking a bit clear to me now. I'm going to crush my garlic in here now. So I'm going to crush each clove. You can dice the garlic if you want, or if you prefer. I like to have it crushed, but you can leave them whole even if you wanted to, guys, but this is just how I prefer to do it, just in case you haven't got a garlic crusher. I don't know if it's just me, but I actually take the inside bits out as well. Even though it's not fully crushed, I literally scrape every piece of garlic off the crusher. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but yeah, I literally clean out the crusher, guys. give that another mix. Before I add the lentils, I do leave it for a minute or so, just so the garlic can start to like cook. I'm back over at the sink and I'm just gonna quickly drain the lentils. You can see that they've actually swollen, guys. They've actually absorbed some of the water, which is again another reason why you should wash them. Okay, so I'm gonna add these to the pan. 4 cups of lentils, guys, going into the pot. Give it a good mix. Make sure you're mixing every single ingredient, you know, mix it all well. It should look like this. I'm going to come in now with my seasoning. So I'm going to start with my paprika. We're going to give probably about a tablespoon, guys, the paprika. Probably a tablespoon. You can see what we started off with. Next is cumin. I'm going to probably put about 2 tablespoons because I actually really like the flavour of cumin in these type of dishes, like, you know, Asian flavoured dishes. Cumin really complements them very well. So I've kind of like emptied the jar here. Maybe it was 1.5 maybe. I do put about 2 tablespoons in generally. I'm going to add the rest of this garlic in there as well. So again, about a tablespoon. We've got some turmeric. Turmeric we are going to be adding in all of this. Should just take off the lid. I think this is about a tablespoon. This is about a tablespoon of turmeric. And then I've got my chili powder. I like to put a little bit of chili powder in, guys, not too much, just to give it a bit of a kick, like that. Maybe a teaspoon or a couple teaspoons. Give it a good mix. If you don't like a lot of seasoning, guys, then, you know, obviously just adjust it according to your taste, but I like it to be really flavoursome. It is a flavoursome dish, you know, especially for the amount of lentils. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. But it's starting to look like this, guys. It's really seasoned. I'm going to add in my chopped tomatoes now. As you can see, every lentil is coated with some of the flavours. Here's my chopped tomatoes, 1 can. So I'm going to add a can of coconut milk in as well. You might need to give the coconut milk a bit of help because, yeah, it usually sets in the can. Let's give it another mix. What you might find at this point is that it starts to want to stick to the bottom of the pan. This is why you need to add your fluids quite quickly. It's taking a bit longer to add them because I'm trying to film as well as show you, but try to add your liquids as quickly as possible so that it doesn't catch the bottom of the pan. Okay, next up I'm going to add my stock cube. I've taken it off the heat for a little while I do this, but I'm going to add my cube to a jug. So I've got a clear jug here. Usually I do this by eye, guys, but I just want to show you how much it kind of works out to be. So I've got my can here of the chopped tomato juice. This is quite dangerous to do because the can heats up really quickly, so you've got to be quick, guys. So it's about 400 mils of water. I then fill it up a bit more to the top, and then I'm going to give that a good mix as well. So you're looking at about half a litre of stock from this. Once your cube has dissolved, you can then add this to your pan, and I'm going to give it a good mix. Be careful though, because at this point there's going to be a lot of liquid in the pan. Make sure none of it has been caught at the bottom of the pot. As you've probably noticed, I haven't put any salt or anything like that in there yet. I'm going to do that now, but I need to taste it first. So I always make sure I put the stock in first, seasonings, then I come in and taste, and then I'll add the salt at the end. So now that I've done that, let me give it a quick taste. And it does need salt, but it doesn't need loads and loads of salt. Oh, that tastes really nice. I love the kick at the end from the chili powder. It's about a tablespoon of salt I'm gonna add to my pot. And yeah, I'm gonna leave that now to simmer. I'm gonna turn down the heat to about 5 or 4 or 5. This is what it's looking like. I'm gonna leave that now to cook and bubble away. That liquid should be absorbed by the time it's finished cooking. It should also change the texture of the lentils. So I'm gonna cover it with a lid and leave that to do its thing. It's day 45 on a budget of zero, and I feel like the worst month. Most of my daughter's friends have had a holiday this year. Most exciting thing she's done is come and drop off exhibit A. Even my every guy has gone on holiday. Had to use post to drop off parcels. Quite cool though, the door's just open. Yeah, this is the most fun she's had. Yeah, honestly, why do I feel so bad? Kylie came to pick up some more stuff for the baby. I saw these kids guys got the baby carrots. Anyway, I tried not to distract all the fact that I need new gardening gloves. Finally found the plant. It was only £3, guys. And ask me why I'm looking at the analysis. All the directions, because we're just going to wing it. Fish and bone. Oh man, is this what we're feeding our plants these days? Surely this is a beat. Anyway, we're with the grow more instead. Next morning I got up to work to feed the baby. Don't worry, I did the directions. Said approximately 2 ounces per square metre. Which I think is definitely the distance that I have to cover. I think I did it on that one. And that one. Listen, at least they're well fed. Let's just hope they stay alive. I left this to cook for about 20 or 30 minutes, guys. I did come in and turn it off, but I did want to show you what it should look like. So it has finished cooking. As you can see, all of the water is gone. I did turn it off when there was a tiny little bit of water. You could see like through the little holes that it's made. There was a tiny bit of water, but I just turned off the fire and left the lid on, and now you can see it's naturally evaporated away. It should have this reddish tinge to it, and as I said, the lentil texture should be slightly different. Your one may not look like mine, but that might be because I didn't soak mine as long. The softer the better in my opinion. So I'm gonna come in with a clean spoon. I'm gonna give it a taste and see. Let's take it from the middle, shall we? Take it from the middle. Don't let the texture fool you, guys. Even if the lentils are still whole, they should melt as soon as they reach your mouth, and they truly have. It tastes delicious. It may need a little bit more salt, but because my children eat this as well as me, I'm gonna leave it for them to season according to their liking. I like a little bit of salt, but they don't, so I'm gonna leave it as it is for the family. But yeah, this is our lentils meal prep for the week, all done. As you can see, it's a really quick, affordable meal that anyone can really do. There isn't much techie stuff to it. I mean, it's really easy, really cheap. This meal will probably set us back £1 or £2, and as I said, it will last us the whole week, so I'm really chuffed about it. Make sure that you let it cool completely, store it in an airtight container in the fridge because it has got the coconut milk. Just be careful not to leave it on the side for too long because it can turn bad, but mine usually lasts at least 5 days, so I hope you enjoy. But yeah, do let me know how it turns out for you in the comments below. But yeah guys, that is all for now this week. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please not forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you are kept up to date with all of my future videos. But I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye guys.